a new kind of enemy against whom conventional methods will not work. This enemy is a radicalized young man or woman who appears innocent but is devoted to death, division, and destruction.
Al-Shabaab imeshashindwa.
The commitment that the IGAD member countries have taken with the support of the African Union was to send the AMISOM force in Somalia, because that was the hottest spot, the fight against Al-Shabaab in Somalia, to allow this brotherly country regain some stability and finally focus on development.
The importance that IGAD places on the threat of violent extremism to the entire region. That regional perspective is, I think, an important one because violent extremist organizations don't care about borders.
The people of the region, both state actors and state actors, felt that there was a need to come up with a dedicated platform in which issues of preventing and countering violent extremism would be institutionalized. And this center now is acting as a resource for government, civil society, experts, religious, youth, women, all kinds of people who are interested in preventing and countering violent extremism.
So here at the center we have this holistic approach where we have a different unit. We have the capacity building unit, we have the research unit, we have the community outreach division, but also strategic communication.
We have made significant progress. One of the things that we have been able to do is to develop a regional strategy. This strategy has a background from the UN Secretary General Plan of Action for Preventing Violent Extremism.
And that regional strategy of IGAD has been already discussed thoroughly by experts, by ambassadors, and that strategy is already validated. And after that, we started working on what we call local strategies in every country of the region to have the capacity to develop its own strategy.
And this regional strategy is widely premised on 5 pillars. And the first pillar is building the capacity of our regional governments, our regional civil society, so helping them have that key capacity to be able to challenge the extremist ideology.
It is very important to us that every capacity building program that we design cater for each member state's specific needs. Also important to us that we train trainers to make sure that the center actually is not the only institution that is actually delivering. We want to have champions that actually disseminate the work that we're doing here at the center on the ground.
The next pillar is pillar on research and analysis. Effective programs have to be driven by research that is evidence-driven, that is able to inform both policymakers and even academia.
We are organizing a workshop to begin the first training of IGAD researchers in this new method, something called trust-based qualitative research, which promises to provide research that is really quite revealing of what goes on the ground and violent extremist organizations.
The third pillar is a pillar that deals with empowering local communities. We strongly believe that to be able to effectively challenge the extremist ideology is that we must build that community resilience, and we must do that at the very local level.
We misunderstand the will of youth most of the time. The danger is that they will express their wills another way, or which is going to the extremism, because they found maybe a space to express their wills, but negatively. It's how the youth could have or could see that they have a value within the region or any nation who is a part of the region.
The fourth pillar is the pillar that suggests practical ways that would help address underlying issues that extremists are using to perpetuate their ideology. And these are political grievances, socio-economic grievances, cultural differences that extremists use. The next pillar is building partnership, both regionally and internationally, with key actors that are involved in dealing with issues of preventing and countering violent extremism.
I would like to thank all our major partners who have been essential in funding, assisting Djibouti and the IGAD country members, but also the organization for this event to happen.
I'm extremely excited to welcome everyone, both people from the region and outside the region, to this very special occasion where we are going to officially inaugurate the IGAD Center of Excellence for Preventing and Countering Violence here in Djibouti.